Welcome back. It's day 8. Thank you for being here, and I think you should thank yourself for committing to establishing a daily meditation practice. Now, we are turning our attention to a new topic today, and we've been focused on our meditations the last few days on self-compassion and offering that to ourselves, self-love, and offering grace to ourselves. And even though we're turning our attention to something new, when you meditate, you are always offering yourself compassion. And part of that is because your body moves away from this fight or flight state, this low-level fight or flight state that we're in constantly, and we move into the parasympathetic nervous system. And the parasympathetic nervous system takes over. And what that does is everything calms down, and it tells our bodies and it tells our minds that they are safe and sound. So self-compassion is always a part of meditation. So today we're talking about stillness. And I love this part about meditation. And it's the ideal lead-in for what will come following this, which is about managing stress and anxiety. But if you can begin to appreciate the power and beauty of stillness and that place of stillness inside of you, you'll open the door to better handling stress and anxiety. And also, when you meditate every day, and we'll meditate on stillness, you take a little piece of that when you get up from your meditation and go back into your daily life. You always take a little piece of that stillness with you. You always take a little piece of that meditation back into your daily life. And as your practice progresses, that piece of meditation that you bring to your daily life continues to grow and flourish. And I love this quote from the actor Morgan Freeman about stillness. And he said this: learning how to be still, to really be still and let life happen, that stillness becomes a radiance. Learning how to be still, to really be still and let life happen, that stillness becomes a radiance. And I think stillness is among the greatest gifts we can offer ourselves. And our world does not provide much support for it. We are under siege for our time and our attention, and we're bombarded with stimuli, and those stimuli are driving us crazy, and they're certainly contributing to the widespread depression that Americans are experiencing, or the world is experiencing, really. And you recall that study from the University of Chicago that said 50% of Americans are depressed, and I'm sure it's higher than that, because most people don't report it or they don't seek help. So congratulations for doing that. But so all this stress, all this anxiety, and throw in open heart surgery or heart surgery, and there's really a very compelling reason to find some peace and some stillness in our everyday lives. And you know stillness. We all know stillness. It's innate to us. And perhaps you've experienced that in prayer, or maybe you've experienced it in some of the meditations we've been doing. You probably have experienced it at some point out in nature, or maybe even in the security of your own home. But my point is this: when you realize stillness, or you recognize it outside of yourself, you're going to connect with it. And that will raise the awareness of stillness in you. It will trigger the stillness in you. And it's always there. It's just neglected. We don't cultivate stillness. And today we're going to do that. We're going to start cultivating stillness. But first I want to share this story with you. And it's relevant, and it refers to what Morgan Freeman is talking about, that radiance. So recently I went to Crestone, Colorado. And Crestone, Colorado is in the San Luis Valley, and it's very sparsely populated. It's where the Great Sand Dunes National Park is located. And Crestone is designated a night sky place. So what that means is there's very little man-made light. and you can see the stars. You can see millions and millions and millions and millions of stars. And there's several of these designated night sky spots, or I'm not saying that correctly. They are dark sky places. They're dark sky places. And there's several of these in Colorado. There's one in New Mexico that I've been to. I've also been to the Sahara Desert and experienced the night sky, and I will share that story later on in this course. But as I said, when you look up into the sky in these dark sky places, because there's little man-made light, there's no ambient light, the stars are endless. They're countless. It is infinite. And when I looked up at that sky, I felt this immediate connection to it. And I can't really explain it, but I felt like I am that. That is in me. And that stillness I connected to naturally. That was the powerful connection, that stillness. Between the stillness of that sky and my own heart, I felt this immeasurable, beautiful sense and power of stillness. And that may be because we are stardust. Dr. Ashley Knight from the British Natural History Museum said, "It's 100% totally true. Nearly all the elements in the human body were made by a star, and many have come through several supernovas." So everything that's out there is in us. We are that. We are that beautiful night sky and those countless stars. And this is the perfect metaphor, I think, for meditation. When you're in the city, and I live in a city, and you may live in a place where you can see more stars, but generally, the stars are drowned out by the man-made light. So when you look up, if you're in the city, you're like, oh, there's a star, that's pretty. You might see, oh, there's the Big Dipper. You might see a constellation. But it doesn't have that same impact. You're not connecting in that powerful way. But when you turn off the lights and you see all that, that connection becomes immediate. And it's the same thing with meditation. When we turn off all this noise, all that stimuli that's coming into our lives every day and driving us crazy, we start to appreciate how glorious we are. We start to appreciate our own depth and our own beauty and that deep place within us of infinite stillness. And that is a place of healing. And that is a place that we want to cultivate. We are stardust. Think about that for a minute. We are stardust. Here's a beautiful poem by Nikita Gill, and it's called 93% Stardust. We have calcium in our bones, iron in our veins, carbon in our souls, and nitrogen in our brains. 93% stardust with souls made of flames. We are all just stars that have people names. So, we're going to go ahead and get to the meditation. This is a meditation about stillness. We'll begin to cultivate that power of stillness. And as our awareness of that stillness grows, we know that that place will always be accessible to us, no matter where we are, whether we're out in that, under that beautiful, bright, millions of stars night, or whether we are sitting in our own homes. That place of stillness is available to us. It's that place of peace and healing. So enjoy the meditation, and I will see you back here next time.